Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's the moment we've all been waiting for, that Philadelphia has been approximately waiting for since March of this year when we signed Saquon Barkley. It is the NFC Championship, Sunday's game against the Commanders. My name's Dalton Holland. I'm from 302 Birds. We're here to break it down on our big board for you. First off, I gotta give respect where it's due to my Commanders fans. They are the biggest Cinderella team in the NFL. They aren't supposed to be here, but they always find a way. Week 16, I'm still feeling the pain. Thanks, Dan Quinn. Anyway, they're coming off an impressive divisional win in Detroit. They went on the road and beat the number 1 seed as the 6th seed. That's impressive in itself with a rookie QB. And they didn't just beat these guys, they beat the shit out of them. 45-31. They showed no mercy. That's why I brought for you guys this week 3 players on Dutchie's players to beware. These are guys that are nightmare matchups. Guys you don't want to be facing. Your defense it should be studying all week. First off, I got Jaden Daniels. Last week, when he went to Detroit on the road as a rookie QB against the 1 seed, a very good defense, he threw for 299 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no turnovers. Holy shit. This kid's going to be doing it for a long time, guys. Stay tuned. His partner in crime, Scary Terry, 4 receptions, 87 yards, and 1 tutty for himself. I swear to God, it feels like this year, Scary Terry, each game had at least 60 yards and 1 touchdown. Jaden Daniels has really revitalized his career. Similar in a way like Baker Mayfield revitalized Mike Evans. And last but not least, you got to give respect to the year of the running back. We're having our own, but Brian Robinson is nobody to mess around with himself. He had 77 yards, 2 touchdowns on 17 attempts in Sunday's game as well. He's not a bad running back, and he's got a pretty good, Eckler had a pretty good yard per carry. I believe Eckler was averaging 7.8 yards per carry on Sunday's game. So they got a really good gruesome twosome in that running back pairing. But my Eagles, hey Commandos, you better be ready. I know you guys are talking a lot of smack, but we are the most consistent team in the NFC all year. The Eagles got that in their favor. They're also coming off an impressive win in themselves. Now, it might have not been impressive score-wise as 45-31, but 28-22 versus the LA Rams, they won in big moments. That's why I would say it was an impressive win. It felt like every 3rd down that the Eagles needed them to convert on, or every 4th down they needed a sack, they were there. So you got to give respect where it's due. They also played pretty well themselves. Jalen Hurts threw for 75% completion percentage, 128 yards in the snow. And I know that, Mick from down in South Philly, hey, Jalen Hurts, he's not good enough. What's your problem with that? Hey, Mick, shut the fuck up, okay? Is this our 2nd time in 3 years being in the NFC Championship? Hey, yo, in the back, shut the fuck up. Yeah, anyway, I'll continue my point. Give respect to Jalen Hurts where it's due. This kid's playing great football, and you don't need to always be the shining star for your team to win football games. He understands that, because if the game plan is run the ball with Saquon Barkley, they're going to keep doing it, especially when he puts up 200 yards. Shout out to Shady McCoy for calling that before the game. But 2 TDs on 26 attempts. This guy's playing lights out football. He's looking solid. And the Eagles are the ones with the chip on their shoulder this time. Last time Commanders beat us, I would say this. If we beat the Commanders the 2nd time around and they beat us the 1st time, I wouldn't be as confident in this game. The fact that they beat us last time means that we should be way more prepared this game and the ones with the chip on our shoulder. And last but not least, my friends, well, defense wins championships, and so does Saquon Barkley. The beautiful thing for Eagles fans is we got both of them on our team. The defense in Sunday's matchup against the Rams had 5 sacks, 10 tackles for a loss. I know some of that is partly due to the snow, but some of it's also due to Vic Fangio. Give credit where it's due. Notice, that's the theme of today's video, kids. Anyway, Saquon's face also after that 78-yard TD, he looks locked in like never before. I have never seen this dude. Like, when he was on the Giants, I think he was always locked in. But now that he has a chance to go for a Lombardi run, he's about to put this team on his back and take us to the promised land. Stay tuned, Eagles fans. Next up, we put together a little QB comparison for you guys. And Eagles fans, this is a segment that I didn't have any pleasure in doing. Well, Not surprisingly so, Jaden Daniels did pass for more yards than Jalen Hurts. He threw for 3,568 yards compared to Jalen's 2,903. His completion percentage was a little bit better. He had 69 compared to Jalen's 68.7, so a 0.3 difference is something I'm not really concerned about. The passing touchdowns, though, this kid in his rookie year threw for 25 passing touchdowns. Last guy I remember to do that, another comparison I made earlier in the video, Baker Mayfield. That's weird that all tied back together. Anyways, Jalen Hurts threw for only 18, but rushing touchdowns is where he made up for it. The rookie only had 6 compared to Jalen's 14 rushing touchdowns. Now let's look at where it really matters, right? At the end of the day, how many total touchdowns are these guys putting up? The rookie, Jaden Daniels, 31 of them. Jalen Hurts has the edge in that as well. He had 32 total touchdowns this year, so Eagles fans should be happy about that. Last but not least, I actually thought that Jalen Hurts would have the edge in rushing yards just because of all the rushing he does. He didn't. He did not at all. Jaden Daniels actually had the advantage here with 891 rushing yards. Jalen Hurts only had 630 this year. So looking at the QB comparison, as much as I hate to say this, I would actually say that the Commanders do have the advantage this week. Havens, let's take it to you for the keys to success.
Hey guys, Joey here with 302 Birds, bringing you my 3 keys to an Eagles victory Sunday against the Commanders in the NFC Championship. Number 1, you've got to contain Jaden Daniels. In the first game, he threw for 191 yards and he ran 7 times for 18 yards. Second time around, though, he threw for 258 yards and 5 touchdowns. He ran 9 times for 81 yards. So when he gets outside the pocket and he moves around on you, he's a lot more lethal through the air. You got to keep him contained. Secondly, you've got to win the turnover battle. You did this the first 2 times. Reed Blankenship's got 2 interceptions in 2 games against the Commanders. Shout out Dennis. And then lastly, you've got to capitalize. Because in that game, they had 5 turnovers forced and 7 points off of them. That's not going to win you football games. And secondly, if Devontae Smith catches that football at the end of the game, we don't have a Jaden Daniels game-winning drive, and we don't have them pesky, annoying Commanders fans up your rear for the last month about it. But go Birds and God bless.
And last but not least, well, some general notes for the game. First off, forecast calls for clear skies. I expect this to be a lot like the NFC Championship against the 49ers 2 years ago. Beautiful game. I'm probably going to be crying during the anthem if I'm there. Anyways, King of the NFC Championship, King of the NFC East Championship, and a trip to the Super Bowl are all for what's at stake in this game. So there's a lot at stake. If you fucking have to know that, this don't be watching How to Fucking Watch Football for Dummies. I don't even know why the fuck I put that on there. Anyway, Daniels also threw for 5 touchdowns like Havens pointed out. He did throw for 2 interceptions that week. He rushed for 81 yards. Thank you, Havens, as well. But Zacchaeus, that was the one thing I wanted to point out too. Former Eagle, Olamide. Cover this man. Do not let him blow it over the top. He can. This guy's a speedy receiver. If he gets out from under you, he's going to score a touchdown, and it's going to be a deep one. Don't let that happen, Birds. And last but not least, Saquon Barkley averages 148 yards against this team. I think I saw today the line was like 131 yards. Highest line ever for a running back, I think, ever sports betting, not even just in the playoffs. Fuck it. I'm saying take it. I know that sounds crazy, but the way that Saquon Barkley's played this year, especially in a playoff game, I feel like it's almost a lock that he's going to have a minimum of 142 yards. That's my prediction. That's all I got. My name's Dalton. That was my boy Havens. Be sure to follow us, 302 Birds. We're bringing you guys Eagles coverage from the first state. God bless. Go Birds. Go